Hello and welcome to your morning sequence for the lower spine, the hips and the pelvis as well. We'll make this about 15 minutes so you can squeeze into your morning somewhere. Just a really quick note that as you kind of progress throughout the pregnancy and the weeks go by, just kind of modifying your practice as you need to. So maybe start to make the movements a little bit smaller and also take extra care kind of transitioning between the postures as well. Yeah, and I think let's get started. So two options. We can either start in something called Vidrasana, which is like this. I'll just show you from the side, where we're sat on the heels. And you can actually use maybe a pillow or maybe like a blanket or a towel rolled up just to kind of maybe make it a little bit more comfortable for you as well. And if you currently have hip pain or pelvic pain, then I recommend doing kind of all the exercises in this position here. So we keep the knees and the hips in line, so we're not aggravating that pelvic pain anymore. If you don't have any kind of hip pain and this is more preventative, then feel free to maybe choose a cross-legged position instead. So choosing your position for now, either one is fine. We'll take a minute to really lengthen up through the spine. And just roll the shoulders forward, up to the ears and down. We'll do a quick breathing exercise to begin. So we're going to lengthen our inhale and make our exhale slightly shorter. And that's just kind of to get, wake ourselves up, get ourselves ready for the day as well. So we're going to inhale for a count of 6 and we're going to exhale for 4. If those numbers don't work for you, then feel free to choose numbers that feel a bit more comfortable as well. So when you're ready, we'll close the eyes. And then we'll inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4. And one more. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4. And now just allow your breath to return to normal. Just take a few breaths here, keeping the eyes closed. And then when you're ready, slowly opening the eyes. Okay, so we'll start with the side stretch. So as I said, either the cross-legged position or choosing that Vidrasana sat on the heels instead. So we're going to place the left hand down by the hips, inhale the right arm up. And then exhale into a side stretch. So leaning over to the left. And here, drop the shoulders away from the ears and try and stand, just kind of stay just directly to the side. So the body isn't coming forward or back, just leaning directly to the side. And this is often a space, well, we feel like we don't have any space left in pregnancy. Just really breathe into the side of the body. And then we'll inhale center, exhale release. And then just swap sides now, so inhaling the left arm up. Slowly exhale, just lean it over to the right. Again, pull those shoulders away from the ears. Make sure that body's staying nice and in line. And feel free as we exhale to just go slightly deeper into that stretch. Taking one more breath here. And inhale center. And exhale release. Lovely. We're going to do some pelvic floor exercises now. So this is probably the best thing you can do. It's good to generally do in pregnancy, but especially if you've got kind of back and pelvic pain, then strengthening these muscles can really help reduce that pain as well. If you need a little refresher of pelvic floor exercise, then there is a separate video as well. So what we're going to do then, we'll do 3 different variations. We're going to inhale, lift and squeeze, and exhale, release. Then we're going to hold the muscle of the pelvic floor for 10 seconds, and then we're going to do 10 squeezes as well. And if we can, we'll try and do these throughout the day. So try to do them about 3 to 4 times a day throughout pregnancy as well. So when you're ready, closing the eyes. And then we'll inhale, lift and squeeze the muscles of the pelvic floor. So all the way from the pubic bone to the back passage. And exhale, release. And again, a few more. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, release. And 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then we'll just inhale and we'll hold the pelvic floor for 10 seconds. So when you're ready, inhale, lift and squeeze. And now just breathe normally, but hold in now for a count of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And exhale to release. And now we'll just do pulses. So 10 quick pulses now, engaging and releasing when you're ready. Okay, so we'll inhale, lift and squeeze, and release. And repeat for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. And then opening the eyes. Lovely. So as I said, if we can try and do 3 or 4 times throughout the day, maybe find a cue that works for you. So maybe when you wait for the kettle to boil, stuck in traffic lights, whatever it is, just to get those done and help really reduce this pain. Okay, we're going to do some pelvic rocking now. So I'll just show you from the side actually. And I think I'll come into Vidrasana now, just to show you a bit more clearly. So we're going to bring the hands to the hips. We're going to inhale, we're going to arch the spine, tilting slightly forward. And then we're going to exhale, curve the spine and bring the chin to the chest. So later in pregnancy, these movements are going to be a little bit smaller. So inhaling to arch, exhale to curve. This is a really good exercise for stabilising the hips and the pelvis. And we'll do 1 more. And then we'll inhale neutral. And then we're just going to combine the exercises now with our pelvic floor exercises. I say, normally I teach inhale to lift and squeeze, but when we add it to movement, sometimes the opposite feels more comfortable. So it doesn't matter, play around with it, but just try and add in the pelvic floor. So maybe inhaling to arch and lift and squeeze the pelvic floor. And exhale to curve and release. Or we can try the opposite way. So inhaling as normal. And then exhaling to curve and lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor. So just play around, see which way feels more comfortable for you even. We'll just take a few more now, combining that pelvic floor with a pelvic rocking. And I think for pelvic pain, this is probably the #1 thing that you can do, is these pelvic tilts with your pelvic floor exercises. We'll just start to really deepen that breath now. So taking deep inhales and slow exhales. And we'll just do 1 more. And then we'll inhale to center. Just in case you've been sat in Vidrasana the whole time, and just quickly stretch the feet out. So we'll come forward to all fours position. Bring myself a bit more centered. And we'll just tuck the toes under now, just to kind of stretch out the feet. So maybe push a little bit weight back into the feet. Just moving the feet 1 at a time, just to give them a nice stretch out in case you've been sat on your heels the whole time as well. Okay, and then we'll release the feet back down. We're going to do some cat-cows now, and again, this is kind of up to you how big or little you make this movement. But this one's really lovely for the spine, so any kind of back and spinal pain we have, cat-cows is a really excellent stretch for this one. So I'll just show you. So 2 options. We're going to inhale. We're either going to have a slight arch in the spine, or we can keep the spine neutral. So maybe if we're quite, at the end of our pregnancy, we've got a lot of pressure added on that spine with our lovely bumps in front of us. So maybe we don't want to take that arch and prefer to keep the spine neutral, or if it feels good and it feels comfortable, you can take that slight arch. We don't want to overdo it as we normally do outside of pregnancy. So choosing your option, we're going to inhale either arch or neutral, looking forward. And then exhale, we're going to slightly push the weight back, curve the spine, chin to chest. Again, nice deep breath in, so inhaling forward. Slow exhales to curve. And again, this movement doesn't have to be very big, but just gently just releasing any tension that the spine is holding on to. And now just working with your own breath. Again, we want to keep those shoulders away from the ears, so we're not causing any tension in the neck or the shoulders at all. Just take it a few more now, just at your own pace, in time with your own breath. If it feels good, you can start to make that movement slightly bigger. Now let's just do one more. And then we'll inhale to neutral. Fab. We're going to come back to seated position now. So either again that Virasana on our heels, or maybe we can come to that cross-legged position. I'll stay in Virasana. And here we want to be really careful with transitioning between postures. If we've got that hip pain, keeping the knees and the hips in line as well. Just not kind of aggravate the hips and the pelvis at all. So we'll bring the hands to the hips now. We're just going to do some hip rotations. So we're just going to move the hips to the side and forward, and then to the other side and back. So a nice smooth continuous circle. So inhale to go forward, exhale to go back. And again, this is really good for just stabilising the hips and the pelvis. If you want, you can start to combine this with your pelvic floor as well. Again, just do whichever way feels more comfortable and natural to you. And then we'll reverse that motion now. So going in the opposite direction. Try and make one smooth continuous circle. This one's really good as well for our digestive system. It gives the internal organs a little bit of a massage at the same time. Let's just do one more. And I'll come back to neutral. Lovely. We'll take a little spinal twist now then. So we're just going to place the right hand to the inside of the right knee. Swivel that left hand behind us, so just below the hips, behind the hips even. We'll inhale. And then exhale, we're going to go to a gentle twist. So just start to look over that left shoulder. Again, it doesn't have to be very big, but we'll just start to give a little gentle twist through the lower spine. And here we can inhale. Exhale, we can deepen that twist a little bit if we like. So we can apply a little bit of gentle pressure with that right hand, just to deepen that twist slightly more. Taking one more breath here. And then we'll inhale back to centre and release. So we'll just take that twist on the other side now. So left hand to the inside of the left knee. Just come forward a little bit here. Again, you can do this in a cross-legged position if you prefer as well. If it's uncomfortable for the feet at all. Right hand behind us, inhale. Exhale, gentle twist looking over now, that right shoulder. I'll just show you in cross-legged as well in case you're choosing this option. And here, you want to try and really lengthen through the spine, so we're not kind of slouching down. We really want to use the pressure from this hand here to push against, to really lengthen that spine. And then just gently opening that spine in that twist position. Lovely. Take one more breath here in our twist. And then we'll inhale back to centre and release. We'll just do one more posture now. So we're going to do a bridge pose. If we have got any pain in that hips and pelvis, we'll be really careful with our transitions. So I'll just show you kind of how to get down safely. So we'll just bring our bum down to the mat. We can then walk our hands down. So we come onto our side and then roll in onto our back, but make sure those knees stay together. So bring the knees up to the ceiling at the same time and gently rolling onto the spine. We'll walk the feet in towards the hips a little bit and bring the feet in line with the hips as well. Palms facing down on the mat. And we're just going to take a really gentle bridge pose now. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips ever so slightly up towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to be very high. So this one's really good again for the spine, but also the thighs and the pelvis as well. We want to keep our shoulders on the ground and the chest nice and open as well. So we're not collapsing in the chest. Keep the chest nice and open. And again, so just find what feels good for your body today. We can bring the hips a little bit higher up if we want to, but actually we can keep them just gently off the ground. And here we're going to try and combine our pelvic floor exercises. If you've been holding for a few breaths and need a rest, please feel free to just bring that spine back down and then come back into it when you're ready. Especially when we're heavily pregnant, we don't want to hold things for as long as before. So when you're ready, either stay in with your hips up or bring them back up if we've had a gentle rest. And then here again, we're going to introduce our pelvic floor exercises now. So we're going to inhale, lift and squeeze the muscles, and exhale to release. And we'll do a few more rounds. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale to release. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then we're going to really gently bring that spine back down to the ground. So vertebra by vertebra, slowly bring it back down. Just take a couple of breaths here. We'll just repeat that one more time. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And again, just recheck our position. So the arms nice and straight, palms facing down, shoulders on the ground, chest open. Then we really use the pressure of the feet and the hands as well to inhale, gently bring those hips up. Again, find that position for you today, just find what feels good. And we'll just repeat our pelvic floor exercises now. So inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, release. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Now we'll do two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And one more. Inhale, lift. We'll hold that pelvic floor in now for a couple of seconds. Continue to breathe normally. And release. And then slowly and gently bring that spine back down to the ground. Fab. We'll come back up to a seated position now. So again, we're going to take caution coming back up. So bring the feet back together. Keeping the knees together, we'll roll onto the side. And then use the hands to bring us back up to that seated position. Fab. So that brings us to the end of your 15-minute morning pregnancy yoga class. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you. Namaste.